Hello and welcome everyone. Today we will be covering lesson 3-1, which is the data input output part 1. So this lesson focuses on how to create and read text file in Python. So let's get started. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to create the text file with the .txt extension. And then next, you will be able to read text files and extract useful data from the file. Well, in this example, we define two variables, x and y. So here we have x equal to 10 and y equals to 12. And then we open a file named my underscore file.txt in write mode, which is W here, by using the open function. So here we write some formatted text, which is the demonstrations, and the position is x and y and so on. And finally, we will close the file. Well, the first step in writing to a text file is to create a file object using the open function. So we need to specify the file's location, which is this, and the mode in which we want to open it, such as the write mode. So we have a character W to represent the write mode, which means we want to create the files and we want to write something into it. First things first, we have to take note of the escape character, \n, for example, here. And also we have the backslash of another backslash. So this is the escape character of a backslash. So it ensures that the output is written on separate lines rather than in a continuous strings, which is the \n. So without it, all text would be written in a single line. So it is important for you to specify this one. So there are different modes available when opening a file in Python. So specifically, we are using the W mode. But here we have the W plus. Of course, you can read this later on. So I want to stress a few important modes. For example, W, which is the write mode. It will overwrite if the file exists, and then it will create a new file if it is not. And then we have the R mode, which is the read-only mode, which starts reading from the beginning of the file. And then finally, we have the A, which is a append mode, which starts at the end of the file, and then we add new data to it. And then once we open the file in write mode, we can begin writing text into it. So we use the standard string formatting and ensure that each line is written separately by using the \n. So here is the formatting, that something that we have learned in our previous lesson. Well, it is important for us to close the file after writing or modifying it. So this is it will ensure that all data is properly saved and prevents issues when accessing the files later. Now let us look at how to read a text file. So in this example, we open the same file that we've created earlier, which is my underscore files.txt in read mode. And then we loop through each line by using the read line. So here we have a line of code, which is 4 line in my underscore files.read lines. So basically it will read all the lines one by one. So it will go through the line one by one. Yeah. And then our aim is to print its contents to the console. We want to read everything inside the text file, and then we want to print on the console output. So to read a file, we open it in the R mode. So the read line functions over here returns a list containing all lines in the file, so which we can loop through and process. Well, sometimes we may need to extract specific information from a text file. For example, if we have a configuration files for a computational physics program, we might want to retrieve certain parameters. In this particular example, we search for the keyword vector1. So we want to retrieve the information of vector1. So here we have the x component, y component of the vector, and the z component of the vector. So we want all three numbers. We want to extract all three numbers. So if the line contains this keyword, so what we do is we go through line by line, because we have the function read lines, which enables us to read the line one by one. So once we've reached this particular text or this particular keyword, which is vector1, then we split the line into tokens and extract the required value. So the meaning of token is this is one token, this is another token, this is another token, and so on. So the split function will automatically divide the string into tokens based on the white space or the blank character. So here we extract the third element, which is index 2. We want to extract the third element. So this is 0, 1, 2. So you need to remember that Python is a zero-based programming language. I mean, the indexing is zero-based. So the list, so we want to access the index 2, so the last one, which is the Z component. So this is 0, 1, this is 2. So this is the particular code which is important to achieve our objective. So here for line in my_file.readLine, so meaning to say here, we extract all the lines and then we need to go through these lines one by one. Since the readLine functions over here helps us to retrieve all the lines, so now we have a list of lines. So it allows us to go through the lines one by one by using the for loop. So if we go through the line one by one, and then here is an important statement which says that if there is vector 1 in that particular line, then we will need to do this. So I'll do the simulation here. So when we use the readLines functions, it will retrieve all lines as a list, as a Python list. And then we use the loop over here to go through one by one. So first we go to line 1, and then next we go to line number 2, 3, and so on. So for each line, we will need to check whether the keyword vector 1 is there. So here, for example, if I go through the first line, no. Second line, no. Third line, no. The fourth one, we found the keyword vector 1. And then we will need to do this statement. So once we have found the line, what we will do is we will need to split the lines. We will need to split the line into tokens. So once we have splitted the line into tokens, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. So again, Python will list the tokens according to the zero-based index. So I would say this is index 0. Then we have the equal sign here as the index 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I repeat, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I am using this number 4 over here. This is the index 4 because I want to extract the Z component of the vector over here. So congratulations, we've reached the conclusion of our lesson. So, but I need you to remember a few things. One of them is to use the open function to read the plain text files. And then we can use the print function to write to a text file. So before this, we used the print function to print any messages on the console, but still we can use the same function to write to a text file. And then we have a new one, which is readLines, to read all lines from a text file. And then finally, just some information, some useful information for you. The plain text files are useful to retrieve simple information such as simulation parameters, configurations, and logging.